great job on getting your first double Q. This is a very interesting course, very typical of a certain style of AKC courses. Lots of turns, lots of side changes, lots of gray area in between type stuff. First, let's start off with this front cross. The timing is good, position is pretty good. I think the footwork, let's take a look. Left, right, perfect footwork. 4 steps. Got your arm out for the dog, and so we're going to get a nice turn here, especially considering that it was the triple, which tends to extend a lot of dogs. Another front cross here. The timing here is a little bit late. You can see your dog is well in the air before you start your front cross, but let's take a look at that foot. We got right, left, left. Perfect footwork, and you see that even though the front cross here is late in terms of timing, that you actually get a decent turn because of the excellent footwork. You resist the urge to step backwards. So very well done on that. Into the tunnel. On to the next part here. Now we start hitting a lot of like gray area. Where should you rear across? Should you rear across before this jump? Should you rear across after this jump? I think I'm with you. I probably am going to rear across here where you did. It is a slight push on the dog's line right here, but I think that's what you have to do. Something that you can do to help that out is to be a little bit further ahead of your dog. So you want to run in here as fast as you can, maybe turn your chest a little bit toward your dog, make it look a little more like a serpentine. But in terms of the dog's line, the dog ran it perfectly. Now here we have a really late front cross. So here the dog is in the air, still driving forward. Here the dog is landed, and now you're starting. So this turn will be wide. And so here it doesn't matter how good your footwork is, it'll be wide. But if we do look at your footwork, here we got a left. There's your left, right, left. And now your right should come this way. But instead your right goes back, which means your left goes back, and now you're stepping forward. So this is a 6-step front cross. So it's possible that even if it were super late, if you had just done your 4 steps, you would have got a little better turn. So even when you're late and it feels like you need to keep moving backwards to keep your eye on your dog, go ahead and just finish out your front cross. Okay, now here is a spot I think I would definitely rear before this jump. Here we have a pretty sharp turn. If we look at the dog's approach, the dog is slicing in this direction, and then the dog turns this way. So if the dog is going to be turning that sharply, I think you should be over here, so you don't have to push into the dog quite as much. It is very similar to the early spot though, and there are definitely going to be dogs where it's better to do that. So I think something that you can do again is try and move up so you can be a little more ahead of your dog. Because what you're going to find is on courses that have boxes, and this is a box, you're going to want your dog to do something like this. And as you come in here, the dog is going to move away and go off course because of situations like this. Yeah, so that's the one spot where I think I would probably definitely change it. Probably definitely. That's a technical term there. Perfect rear cross here. Yeah, so even that second rear cross, that's still a little bit of a gray area. Like, the more I look at it with your dog, the more I think it's probably okay. You don't want to push too much directly into your dog, but I feel like you are far enough back that your dog's landing ahead such that you're rear crossing in the flat. I think if you're ahead of your dog, it handles more like an open serpentine type move. You turn your chest toward the dog. If you're behind your dog, then basically you're just letting them land straight and then crossing in the flat. It's when you're right next to the dog and you're trying to push on their line that you have a lot of problems. And so I don't think you were doing that even on the second one. So I think that I've changed my mind a little bit there. I think that's probably okay as well. Just something to be mindful of. If your dog is going to turn a lot over a bar, in general, you want to rear cross before that. So in practice, when you have these setups, when you go to your weekly class or you're at home, you want to look for those spots and practice both rear crosses. Do the rear cross in one spot, do the rear cross in the other spot, and observe how it affects your dog's line. And then you'll start to get a very good sense for where you should be putting your rear crosses and really tailor it to your dog specifically.